Hope everybody is doing well today. Hopefully I can get this camera and this phone together. Has some difficulties. Hope those that come in can hear everything I'm saying. This is Gems by Selena. Should have said Selena. And hello for those who will come in and hear this. Ooh, gosh, I'm trying to see if y'all can. Hopefully y'all can see a little bit. I don't want to do too much on here. I know it's probably a lot of people going live at the same time, so I will just I won't be on here too long because again, this is Gems of Selena. So my Gems of Selena is new. Something where I'm talking about a particular situation or particular things that's going on, and I will be kind of expounding on that. It's not gonna be long. I would say maybe 30 minutes to an hour. I'll probably do it. So I appreciate for the one person that pressed the like button. I'm finna go on about my way. I hope y'all can hear and see. Let me go on my way to the bank to deposit something, and I just want to come through and just say, hey CC, hey Kev, what's good, what's poppin'? Good to see you guys in the chat. I'm not gonna hold you long. Again, I done said that for 3 times. What I want to talk about, if you can see in the title, it's saying treat people like you want to be treated. I just ask that you guys be open-minded to the things that I'm saying. In this day and time, a lot of people have forgotten this golden rule. And I don't know if I told you, besides I'm in education, I have a little part-time gig that I do. And hello, for those who come in, I can't see everybody because I'm driving. But let me move the camera. Maybe I can see some people through. But you know, I want to be able to drive. But I do a little part-time gig where, well, let me get this back in order. I do a little part-time gig where I have an elderly patient. And my elderly patient is 80 years old. Yes, she's 80 years young. She has been living some decades. And she has saw a lot of things out here in the world. She saw how people have changed since she was coming up. The 1942 or 43. That's the year of her birth. So she's been here for a minute. And I also have a lot of older people still that are alive in my family. I have a aunt that turned 91 just recently on May the 28th. And one thing that it seems to be an ongoing thing that they were taught growing up, they were taught to the golden rule that seems to be ignored in this day and time. The golden rule that they went by as they dealt with their neighbors, as they dealt with their family. And like I said, people even then weren't perfect. You had a lot of stuff going on, even in that going on in their lives. And as much as we would like people to just grow up, how about people need to grow up when it comes to treating people like they want to be treated? How about that? How about learning to say please and thank you, and not just brush past somebody as if you don't see them? How about putting on your signal light when you're in traffic, when you're trying to get over instead of cutting people off? How about not calling people out their name if they haven't called you out their name, out your name? How about just being a decent person because you want other people to be decent to you? How about that? But see, in this day and time, people don't care nothing about that. They only think about me, myself, and I, and how I feel instead of looking at the bigger picture. And I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of times when I would hear Miss Dorothy say this, and she repeats this over and over again. And like I told y'all, if y'all was here at the beginning, she's an 80-year-old woman, right? She's an 80-year-old woman that repeats the same thing over and over. But her ongoing theme is treat people like you want to be treated. I'm just going to tell you that to me has been lost. You can see how if you're living around people, certain people that you live around, they do not take that golden rule seriously. They don't care about that. They want to do what they want to do. Forget about what you feel. Forget about what you're going through. Forget about I live around you. I want to just do what I want to do. So they forget that treating people like they want to be treated. They don't care nothing about that. And that's what I see a lot of. And hey, Joe. Hey, V. Hey, WTA. John. What? By my school? What you talking about? Hey, Royal. Hey, WTAC. Young Riaz, CC, Kevin. Thank you guys for coming through. Captain Wolf, I hope you're doing good. But they forget about treating people like they want to be treated because it's all about them and how they feel. And I look at how people treat each other just everywhere, and this should be scary to a lot of people. And this is why some people rather not be dealing with folks, because you got folks that don't know and don't understand and don't care about the golden rule. Now, to each their own. Some golden rules for some people. Hey, C. Charles, is different. Oh, okay, John. I was like, what? Some golden rules for some people are different. But the golden rule that I was taught and that I hear Miss Dorothy and some of my elders in my family talk about is Luke 6:31, when it says treat people like you want to be treated. No matter if you think King James, it was written by a white man. I believe it was inspired by God and the people that he used to write the manuscripts of the Bible. Of course, it has been altered over time, but the fact of the matter is, whether you believe it or not, there's always something great that you can get from it. And it always shows you how imperfect and flawed of a human being you really are. And that you need redemption. And you can see it however you want to. That's between you and your God of who you serve. But what I'm saying to you is, regardless if you believe in it or not, it has some great principles in it. And if most people would stop critiquing it and actually dissect it to the point to where you can learn something from it, you can actually be a decent person walking around here. But we have so many people that have so many things to say negatively about God and about the Bible, when you forget about and see the goodness of it. One of the goodness of it is what I'm talking to you right now about, treating people like you want to be treated. And as much as I get tired of Miss Dorothy, this 80-year-old woman that I go and check on sometimes, and she says it repetitively over and over. Selena, remember, the golden rule is to treat people like you want to be treated. And she would say that over and over again. And sometimes, if we wonder if God is speaking to us, sometimes it's people he uses like that. when you're not even thinking about anything, when you just going throughout your day and you'll hear somebody say something that will resonate to you. And sometimes you'll hear it over and over again because it's something that he wants you to hear it in. And I'm glad that I got elders like that around me. I don't have elders like these YouTube folks on here. These YouTube people that are elders are not a good example of what it means to be an elder, a wise elder. Because when you're a wise elder, you know how to use your wisdom, you apply it to your life, and you don't mind teaching other people. If your knowledge is teaching me how to ride a man, or how to do something sexual, or how to cut somebody out and all this, I don't want to hear it. I can learn that on my own. But when I have elderly women and men that I was fortunate to have to teach me and to show me different things on how life is really sometimes how it can be. A lot of this stuff that you see on YouTube, you need to really, it's really a disgrace, and it should be put in the trash mentally on the stuff that we see and hear on here. And people have forgotten about, if you don't want somebody to do it to you, don't do it to them. If you don't want nobody lying on you, don't lie on them. If you don't want nobody being two-faced to you, don't be two-faced to them. If you don't want nobody judging you, don't judge them. See, those are the things that we forget as we go about this life, and especially as we look on this YouTube and we in war and we in one group and the other group. And if we all really look at it, I don't think God is pleased with neither one. If God was really observing and judging our righteous and our judgments, we would all be really messed up. We would all be messed up to the point to where we wouldn't look so good in front of the judge, the true judge. So I am very cautious about the things I speak on and the scriptures that I quote, because I want to make sure I'm trying to live up to par. See, it's people that say scriptures, it's people that act like, but they really don't have the power. They really don't have what they say they represented, because their life would represent what they're speaking of. You're not going to hear me say a lot of scriptures, but what you will see me progressing into a decent person, a more decent person than I was the year before. I roll solo dolo for a reason. I have a few people in my corner because I understand that everybody they said they cool with you and like you and smile is not for you. And I have gotten that over the time, just in my lifetime, but definitely on these YouTube streets. A lot of the people that you think is wise is not so wise when you really dissect some things. That's why you have to be careful who you listen to. You got to be careful who you watch. You got to be careful on everything, who you around, who you entertain. Hey, Atmosphere. Hey, Ebo. How are you? You got to be very cautious on who you entertain on here. And when you really, when it boils down to it, a lot of the stuff you hear is foolishness. I embrace women, older women, that speak with wisdom, that have a lot of value to what they say. They know how to be classy, and then they know how to read you at the same time. I also gravitate to women that mean what they say and say what they mean. I gravitate to women who are consistent. Those are the older women in my church and just women that I've met in my neighborhood and in my family that I gravitate to. See, you'll find in a lot of places, and especially on here, people are very fickle in their opinions of you. One day they like you, the next day they can't stand you. One day they think you're the greatest person, and the next day they think you're a snake. One day they think you are giving, lovely, because you're giving them money, cash outs or super chats. The next minute you're a traitor. One minute you are a loyal supporter. The next minute you are trash. People, hey TCK, TCAT, I'm sorry. People are very fickle on here. And that's why I roll solo dolo. And I thank God that I came to that resolution. I thank God that I came to that discernment of being solo dolo and deciding, hey, the only person I need is God. And then he'll send the people along the way that need to be there. Other than that, you can exit stage left. I don't want to be bothered. Because people do not understand, treat people like you want to be treated. If I talk to you behind the scenes in a loving way or respectful way, I'm going to talk to you behind the scenes when I need to confront something about you. I don't need to go on live, and I don't need to go and tell 5 or 10 other people. That's if I'm really cool with you, right? So, unfortunately, people on here talk a good game about having morals and values and standards when they just go as I would say, as we say in Texas, rat behind you and do the total opposite of what they said that they were about. And I really do not want to be that type of person. And I ask that anybody in my circle or people that I really fool with, even some of my subscribers, call me out on it if I do the opposite of what I just said. That's why I move silently on here. You don't hear me speak about stuff because a lot of things ain't my fight. And a lot of things, it ain't my problem. But when it comes down to seeing things over and over again, sometimes I'm led to speak on it because it's a real issue that people don't understand, to treat people like you want to be treated. Hey, YouTuber, I do not like a lot of the things I see around here, but that don't mean I'm going to speak on everything either. I just know that for me, myself and I don't want to be fake. I don't want to be a hypocrite. And I definitely don't want to be a person that I'm not saying scriptures and I can't back it up. You understand? So, and as John would say, you heard me. I don't know if I'm saying it like that in his Washington accent, but yeah, you heard me. People are really sad out here, and we all got to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, are we really treating people like we want to be treated, or we just don't give a damn? And I'm gonna say, for the most part, some people just don't give a damn. They don't care if it's not something that is going to help them or bless them in their life. They could care less about any of that. What's up, 415? Good to see you, girl. They don't care. They don't care nothing about that. And I would just say all of us need to take a look in the mirror, right? And see, are we really treating people like we really want to be treated? Are we really treating people like we want to be treated? So when I'm reminded of that every day from Miss Dorothy and some of the elders that I talk to, that's something that I'm really focusing in on. because God want me to hear something that I I'm missing, or maybe he wants to remind me that I'm not treating people like I want to be treated all the time. You know, we're imperfect, and that's not an excuse. It is what it is. But when you understand you are imperfect, when you understand that there's faults that you got, you should start to work on them. You know what I'm saying? What's up, CX? Hey, Miss Chicago, and happy birthday. And if Philly comes in, happy birthday to him. Hey, V-Mac. I do not want to go dark. That's why when I address certain people, like I did the other week, I had to address that mud duck, because she's the type of person and that just needs a little spanking verbally. And I addressed the other wildebeest, but at the same time, even in that, I gotta say, well, would I want somebody to call me a wildebeest? Would I want somebody to call me a mud duck? No, even though they probably deserved it. What's up, 27? Hey, Vetted. So, as you can see, I got a lot of work to do. Yeah. So I even have to put the mirror up to me too, because some days, like I told you, I can go left as well. I'm kind of like, and I don't put myself as I'm so bad, everywhere I go, nuck if you buck kind of person. I'm kind of like a calm before the storm. You know what I'm saying? Calm before the storm type of people. They quiet. They nice. They friendly. They just sit back, observe everything. They don't speak on too much unless it's really something that bothers them, right? Then when they, let loose, it's like something has been unleashed in them. And I would say I haven't got there on here yet. I think there has been times where people have maybe tried to get me there to maybe prove to other people or themselves that I'm really just like everybody else. I'm dark and all of this kind of stuff. But to be honest with you, it's darkness in all of us. Some of us got more than others. But I am like I'm a calm before the storm kind of person. I'm calm. And when I'm really feeling the way, I talk real calm. And then I go from there. Have y'all ever been in a hurricane? Have y'all ever been where it's calm at first and then all of a sudden everything starts, the wind starts picking up, the thunder starts rolling, lightning starts flashing, the rain starts flowing, it starts dropping real slow, then all of a sudden it starts going fast. A hurricane is very deadly. And that's what some of our mouths can do. Our mouths are deadly. Our tongues are deadly. Our tongues could be probably one of the deadliest things that we have. But behind that tongue is the words that we speak, And those words that we speak can either damage people. It can make a mess. It can speak spells on people. It can destroy people. It can curse people. It can do all types of things. It can bless people. All I'm telling you guys, you definitely have to watch how you treat people. You definitely have to watch how you treat people. You definitely have to watch people that are very calm and very just they don't bother people. You look at a lot of things going on. People that have been mistreated by other people. Once they get upset, it's all she wrote. I remember how, some kids, you've heard of stories of kids being bullied by kids at school, and then they come back with the AK-47, or they come to school with some type of weapon. And not only do they, destroy the kids that were bullying them, they destroy other kids that had nothing to do with it. They were just there. And that's why I said your anger, it can be deadly. And that's why it's even more of a reason to treat people like you want to be treated. Because even though you might didn't realize how you affected people, that doesn't mean that other person doesn't see it that way. Hey, Ann. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm probably talking like I'm in circles. But the point of the matter is, if you don't want nobody doing it to you, damn it, don't do it to other people. Don't do it to other people. That is what I heard all day today. She repeated herself over 20 times. Remember, Selena, treat people like you want to be treated. And it's something that keeps ringing in my ears. Happy birthday, Philly. Yeah, I'm poor too, Kaylee. Join the club. So yeah, just be cautious of how you treat folks. That's all I'm saying. Don't sometimes you can't worry about how other people when other people treat you like that, karma always comes back. I was watching a show. I forgot the name of it. The name of the show, but it's been around for a while, and they were talking about karma. And they said they were showing different clips of people that tried to do something to other people, and they ended up getting karma. Karma came back to them, and it came worse than they imagined. It was two black females. I guess they got into it with some people or whatever. So they came to the house and they threw cake mix on the person's car. So as they threw cake mix on a person's car, it could have been somebody's boyfriend. They were trying to get back, but it was two females that jumped out the car. And as they jumped out the car, they threw the cake mix. Then they went back into the car and tried to sped off. They ended up going through a red light. And as they were going through a red light, an SUV T-boned them. Uh-huh. It T-boned them. Now, I don't think anything besides they were just injured, but I don't think a death or anything came out of it. But that just goes to show you. Now, I don't know what that other person did, but at the same time, they threw cake mix on somebody's car, and they ended up getting karma, and karma came a lot worse than what they gave. See, how you give it doesn't mean you're going to actually get it that same way. That's just a good and bad thing. You do it a bad thing, you might, and it may not be in your mind that bad, but when it comes, it's like it comes worse than how you gave it. Hey, Uncle L, how are you? That's why I said be careful. The seeds that you sow on people, the things that you say, the lies that you tell, the things that you do to other people, because it's gonna come back, and it's not gonna come back the way you gave it, right? It's just not. So as I'm reminded from Miss Dorothy to treat people like I want to be treated, it makes me realize that I got a lot of work to do in a short time to get there. A short time to get there. So thank you, Miss Dorothy, and thank you for people that are like Miss Dorothy, that don't mind speaking the truth. And that's why it's very good to have elderly people around you that know what the hell they talking about. It's very good to have elderly people that ain't trying to be 30 or 40 or 50. They're just their age. They're just being their age, and they're telling you what they have learned throughout their lifetime. What's up, Miss Akimi? I had a lady, Miss Jocelyn Scott, at my church when I was growing up. She was like Miss Akimi. Miss Jocelyn Scott would read you in a very nice, classy, Christian-like way. But you would know that number one, she ain't no dummy. And number two, she see you. Jocelyn Scott, Sister Jocelyn Scott died of cancer many years ago, breast cancer, matter of fact. But one thing, like her and many other women, like I told you, Miss Dorothy, have taught me, put God first, do the best you can, and treat people like you want to be treated. And don't let nobody walk over you. That's what they taught me. She had a voice. She really could have did oratorical kind of speeches among thousands of people. She had that type of voice and that presence about her. She was actually quite highly intelligent, actually, and she read a lot. So that also increased her knowledge, because she was an avid reader and she read about different things. But she had a way of telling a person off, and by the time you realize it, your head is cut off. you know, she ain't never read me, because I always, I stayed in my place as a kid, as a young lady. But I saw how she dealt with other people and other women, and I knew Jocelyn Scott was not to be played with. And God bless women like Miss Akimi and Sister Scott and Miss Dorothy. And I think of the elders in my family, my Aunt Modine, 91 years old, one of my oldest aunts, that's still kicking to this day, that will tell me the exact same thing. Treat people like you want to be treated. And don't ever think you can hide from God, because however you give it, that's how you're going to get it. What's up, Dimple? What's up, DB? However you give it is how you're going to get it. Okay? And sometimes it comes back worse, a lot worse than what you gave it. People need to be for real in this day and time. Life is so short. It's so fleeting. and they don't care about how they treat other people. Do you realize when you die, whether you believe in an afterlife or not, what if you're wrong? What if you are wrong? What if there's actually an afterlife and you got to give an account for everything you do? What's up, Stu Food? What if? I'm just asking. I would rather be dead right than dead wrong. Do people not realize that you don't leave this world without consequences? Even when you think you're getting away with it, we're not. Even when we speaking and doing things against people and we think it's funny and we think it's okay, it's not. Especially if it's not true. Now, if it's the truth, that's another story. But when you are blatantly either lying on people because you don't like them, or you blatantly just being ugly to a person just because and they ain't did nothing really to you, you got to answer for that. And that goes for everybody in the whole world, including me. Look at yourself. And I'm not thinking I'm better than nobody because I have to learn the same things. And really, I don't think I'm no better than nobody, but some choices I made were better in my eyesight, in my view. I just made better choices. That doesn't mean that I think I'm better than other people. I appreciate people that take accountability for themselves, but some people I feel are incapable of it because they don't give a damn. It always goes back to, I don't care because I am okay. I'm good. Again, I don't know what world folks are living in this day and time. I really don't. But you're going to have to answer for everything you do. Good, bad, or indifferent. You just going to have to answer. And the stuff that I see on here that people do to other human beings, that even I had to look at myself on. You know, some things I look back at and I said, you know, I was kind of blinded and I'm kind of ashamed of certain things. Even though I didn't feel like I participated all the way in certain things, but I feel ashamed for the things that I did do. And while we are going around here judging people, we got to look at ourselves first. Hey, Crystal. Hello, Keep the Change. Pinky, Texas Tea, what's popping? And I'm like, I was so fooled. I didn't even see myself like I really was. Until like in the last, I would say in the last year, 2 years, I'm like, dang, I was missing a lot. I wasn't even paying attention of how reckless my mouth was. I wasn't even paying attention how reckless my behavior could have been to somebody else. We are reckless and we don't even realize how reckless we are. That's the sad part about it. And when we wake up, it's a little too late. Damn, I tell you, you gotta, it comes a point where you stop looking at other people and you start looking at yourself and you realize you really screwed up. And a lot of times you put band-aids over your wounds and stuff that you really was wounded in some areas, and then you take it out on other people. Hey, Bunny T, how you? We messed up. And I'm so glad I'm learning this now. So when I get older, I won't be a total nutcase. I won't be a person constantly blaming other people when I got some I got some stuff too. So like I said, Miss Dorothy was on it today. And that's what kind of made me feel like I might need to talk about this because I'm not so sure people are actually paying attention. But for the most part, people don't care. I'm sorry. Hey, Amber. And I hope you guys understand what I said. I don't went a lot of different places. I done told y'all I could be like a hurricane and y'all haven't seen it. And I hope y'all don't because I want to learn a little bit of more of self-control. I done told y'all about me missing the mark on a lot of different ways that I overlooked. And I can take accountability to say, I was messed up and I could have been a little reckless with my mouth. Hey, Steady, I can say it. But what I'm not going to do is keep taking that in if God willing in 2025. That's what I'm not going to do. Each year you should progress into being a better person, not the same. That's all I'm saying. But forgive me for the earlier part of the live. My live did go haywire. I guess it was because of the area I was in. But I tried to get back on on my subject. But I do want people to understand, please look at yourself. Look at yourself first. Look at yourself first. Please, and we all do. And this goes for me too, because I know if it's a person I don't like, I can be mean spirited too. I ain't gonna hold you. I can. And some of y'all already know. Hey Carl, hey Mel W. But take into account even the people you don't like, just look at yourself in the mirror and say, do you have any of those traits of the person that you don't like? And if you do, you need to make some adjustments because you can't talk about that person when you are actually have some of those same traits. And I hear a scripture that's been quoted around here about a double-minded person is unstable in his ways. And that is very true. And that is why when you quote scriptures and you put scriptures up here, make sure you're not that double-minded person. Make sure you're not the person that's quoting scriptures and then creating the mess as well. Okay? People that know any scriptures in the Bible, they have the way of twisting it for their advantage when they are the person that the scripture is actually talking about. So we got to be careful about that, okay? So that's why I don't quote too many scriptures because I need to make sure I'm on that same wavelength that I'm actually quoting. So that's why I don't quote too much. I'm just learning even more how to treat people like I want to be treated. But again, this is a process. This is not something that happens overnight, okay? So I'll say that, okay? So we got to be careful how we misconstrued and we try to put the scriptures on other people when we are displaying some of that behavior, okay? So, and that goes for me too. Me too. And I'm going to say it again. Me too. But I hope y'all got something from this. Thank you for pressing the like button. I appreciate your participation. I'm too busy looking at you when your man. Hey, Marissa. I ain't worried about Russell. What is Russell always trying to be funny? Yeah, so y'all be good, and just like I said, treat people like y'all want to be treated. It don't take much, it don't take much to do it. If you don't like somebody, and I'm learning too, I'm gonna really try. I'm just not gonna speak on it. I'm gonna try not to speak on it. Hey, Natron, how are you? So I appreciate you guys, but the best thing to do on here, especially, I'm gonna say this is what I'm learning, and it rings so much truth. I'm going to rock solo dolo on this app. The few people that I got that I talk to, that's it. But it's best to watch your circle, treat people like you want to be treated, and make sure you're not speaking um, on things that you're actually portraying. You know, um, that's a good way for people to call you a hypocrite. Thank you. Oh, and 27. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Um, Happy birthday to my Gemini subscribers. Um, and I want to bless some of you guys, but y'all gotta look. I ain't banking like Russell. So y'all look. I gotta wait to payday. But I want to bless you guys in some way. I had started giving out like little cash apps here and there, and I want to do more of that. Oh, Stufu, happy birthday! Happy birthday! And Russell Red, like I said, me and you have had odd things, but you know, even with that, I hope you learn something from it, and I have too. And that's why I say we all have to learn to treat people like we want to be treated. But I want to say it. I really appreciate you though. But happy birthday to Stu Fu. Happy birthday to Philly. Happy birthday to Miss Chicago. And yeah, happy birthday to my Gemini subscribers. Um, like I said, my sister's one, and I get along with her really, really well for the most part. We have our few little, going back and forth, but we both, even as we gotten older, I have respected her as my older sister, and I realized too that we both have learned over years, because she looks at me like a daughter to her. We both have learned to treat each other like we want to be treated. So we get along a lot better because we're learning to understand that. Yeah, so uh, yes, learn. We also, and I learned to mind my own business too, for the most part. But what I will say is, uh, just treat people like you want to be treated. If you don't want nobody doing that to you, don't do it to them. And that goes for me too. That goes for me too. So love y'all to Reese's Pieces. Thank you so much for coming through. Please don't let this word go in one ear and out the other, because that's what people seem to do on here. They hear it and then it goes one ear out the other. So I hope that this says something to you that you can remember, because I hear this every day from Miss Dorothy when I go and see her. So I hope that this you can get this through your head. You say a lot of these folks in this sector need to get laid. Yeah, and they need they need some kind of spirituality as well. But that could be a factor, Russell. I don't know. Everybody different. Hey, repairman. Hey, repairman. Leave it to Russell to bring in the humor when it don't need to be. So, God bless Russell. But y'all be easy, and I'll talk to y'all later. I'm not going live tonight because I thought about it. The Mavericks is playing, so that's a no go for me. So I'll probably be going live Thursday. I'll probably be going live Thursday. Oh, okay. I'll probably be going live Thursday because I want to talk about the pastor Tony Evans, uh, which I know by the way, and I know his family. Uh, and I don't know if y'all familiar with it, but and God bless the people in Atlanta. Thank you, 27. He said, especially Russell. The people in Atlanta, it was a raving lunatic. God, Lord forgive me for saying that if it's wrong. But my thing is, he was bipolar, and he knew he was bipolar because he said it on an interview that he did earlier that day, and he was talking about him being bipolar. He got on the bus downtown Atlanta and had people on the driver and the people on the bus in hostage on the bus. And thank God no one was hurt. But no, I think one person was killed, I believe. But one person was killed, and I think the other people was, they were okay. But they were on a bus, and I don't know if y'all remember that movie, Speed, with Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, and it was about that. It was I guess it was a bomb or something, and if you the speed limit, the speed went below 50, then the bomb would go off on the people on the bus and stuff like that. It was kind of remind me of that. But anyway, downtown Atlanta, if y'all look it up, all these weird, hey Brown, how are you? One person was killed. Yeah, that's what I thought, Brown Wolf. That's why I was just like, I didn't know if it was the driver or was it the person that that had the gun. I didn't know which one died. But anyway, it was a tragedy, and it could have been a lot worse. But see, this is why I'm talking about people not treating people like they want to be treated. Why don't you go on the bus and try to hold people hostage? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you remember that movie, me too. So I was like, these people are really crazy out here. You can't even get on the bus. You can't get on the airplane without somebody freaking out and doing some stupid stuff like that. But Brown Wolf said it was one person. I don't know. And I got to go back and look at it and see what person, like, was it the driver? Do you know, Brown Wolf, who it was? Was it the driver or was it the person that held them hostage? See, this is what I'm saying. People are too irate. They just do things without thinking. And really, to me, mental illness in the Black community is really overlooked. It's overlooked anyway. But if you have some type of mental problems, especially bipolar, schizophrenic, or you have some type of mental condition, you need to go get help. And I don't know why people take that lightly. People really take that lightly. So I don't know. But see, it's situations like this where people, they have these different issues going on and they take it out on other people that have nothing to do with their issue. You said, I had a girl run up to me in a drive-through the other day, asked me to give her a ride. I asked her where she was going. She said, as far as you could get her. Oh, no. And see, you can't even help people sometimes because you don't know if people are trying to kill you or what. I don't know if it was the driver or actually the hijacker. Oh, okay. And then she said, to the next gas station, I looked across the street and there was 3 gas stations. Yeah, you can't even help people. Hey, Angel, you have to almost tell them, I'm sorry, because you don't know if your life is in danger. That's why I said some people, they don't believe in the golden rule of treating people like they want to be treated. They are angry and mad at their life, and they'll take it out on you by any means necessary. So you have to be very vigilant about your safety. You really do. Married or not married. You know what I'm saying? People are nuts. So yeah, they have mental health issues. But anyway, I'm finna go. I've been talking longer than I expected to. So thank you guys for participating in the chat. Thank you guys for pressing the like button. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chats and happy birthday to my Gemini subscribers. I shouldn't say Gemini, but you know, my May, June, you know, because some people don't get into that horoscope stuff. And I really look. I will talk about that a little later. So to you know, y'all know who y'all are. Anybody birthday that was, that was recently, y'all know who y'all are. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, and I really appreciate you guys. Okay, y'all be blessed. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.